I love you with my heart, with my soul, with every fiber of my entire being. How are you feeling right now, beautiful soul? So, pulling information from the quantum field, gathering data from the empty space, which isn't really empty. It's full of code, it's full of data, it's full of mathematics. Everywhere you look around you, you see objects, you see space between you and trees, space between you and buildings. But that space is not empty. As I said, it's rich and bountiful and full of data. Now, if you're a remote viewer, or you are a psychic, or you're tapping into the field to pull information on people's past life experiences, future life experiences, all of this stuff comes under the same umbrella in terms of how you pull that data. Okay, people make it out to be really complicated. It's not. It's really actually very simple. The most challenging part for most people is becoming present enough to access the data fields, and once the data starts to present itself, being patient enough to allow it to unfold in real time. Now, first of all, if you're thinking crazy thoughts and you're really busy in your head, extracting data from the quantum field, whether it's your remote viewing a target or you're pulling information on people's past life experiences so you can access the trauma fields where the experiences lie that you need to shift to create healing in this physical space, you have to be silent, you have to be present. You've got to be still. Stillness is very, very important. If you're pulling the information and you've got loads of clutter inside your head, you've got to decipher the difference between the clutter in your head and what you're actually pulling from the field. Now, in reality, you're not actually pulling anything from the field. The information in the field is already there. It's all around us everywhere. People say that you've got to access certain libraries of data. People say that data is held on certain holographic tablets and discs, and to a certain extent, this is true, okay? But not really, because the information is everywhere. What is actually reality and truth and real is that there are certain levels and layers to this information. So some people might have access to a level of information held in the field, and then there may be certain access codes to access a deeper level of information. It's like, you might be in the police or the military and you get access to a certain level of clearance, but other levels of information are held at a more secure level of clearance. So you need to be higher up in the police or higher up in the military to access those deeper information streams. It's no different in the field. Sometimes when you're going in to access information to clear someone's past life history, let's say someone has liver cancer. So what you need to do is to go and find out where that trauma was created. Now it could be 700 years ago, it could be 500 million years ago on a galactic timeline. So you need to go in, find those traumas, or the trauma, it could be multiple, it could be one, that created the guilt or the anger inside someone's liver. Then you can go in and you can remove the information streams, the data streams where the trauma occurred that created anger programming, guilt programming, which is stored in the liver and ultimately in this physical reality created cancer. So you could go in and tap those information fields. If you're a remote viewer and you get a target and the target takes you to a certain location, when you go to that location and you start to get glimpses of the information in that particular location, you've got to be very patient. Just like when you go to get the information on the anger and the guilt trauma in the galactic incarnation, you've got to be patient. When information rises in the field, you can't start looking at that information. You've got to be patient. If you chase information in the empty space, or the not so empty space within the quantum field, it often disappears. For example, let's say I'm a remote viewer in the military and my boss gives me a target and the target is linked to a code, right? So the code might be Z412397T. So I stare at that code from a very present, still space, and I absorb that code into my consciousness. Once the code enters my consciousness, if I'm still enough, that code's going to take me. It may take me through a vortex, through a tunnel. It might just take me there, depending on how I've been trained. Okay, and once I find myself or my consciousness in the space of that target, I'm really still. I might see over here to my left-hand side in my peripheral vision the corner of a wall, or I might see one side of a building, or I might see a cluster of trees. If I turn to look at the wall or the building or the cluster of trees, most of the time it's just going to fizzle out and disappear. But if I allow whatever I'm seeing, feeling, or experiencing to be there in my field, in my peripheral vision, and I be very patient, that vision will grow all around me. The trees will turn into a forest, the wall will turn into a mansion, everything will start to unfold, and once it comes around me, I see a door. I can then walk through the door and explore the house. But you've got to be patient in the first instance. This is how I operate when I'm doing my work. Stillness, isness, patience, they are so important. Your mind really wants to be empty, so you know that you're getting the pure data stream that you're accessing, and nothing else is jumbling around in your head. You know, all that clutter trying to, cause chaos and infiltrate whatever it is that you're experiencing. And when you get there, or you start to experience the information, if it's a past life experience that you're trying to extract data from a client or a family member, you might not go anywhere. You might just experience the information in the field. But still, let it be there. Let it expand. Let it present all of itself to you before you start drilling into it and digging into it. All right, patience is important. I always describe it to people like a fisherman or a fisherwoman. Okay, imagine, right, you've got to go out and catch some fish to feed your family. So you go down to the river or you go down to the lake and you get your rod with bait on the end and you throw the line out and the hook and the bait land in the water. Now, if you're patient and you leave it there for some time, the fish are going to get curious and they're going to swim up to the bait and they're going to bite it. And then once they bite it, you can reel your line in and then you can go home and feed your family. But if you cast your rod out and you start waving that rod around in the water, the fish, they're going to get scared and they're going to swim away from that bait and that hook. And so you're never going to catch anything. That's being impatient. If you go out into the field and you're trying to extract quantum information, quantum data, and you start looking for it, getting impatient, you're not really going to find much, maybe nothing at all. But if you're patient, you cast out your intention either by deciding what it is you want to extract or deciding to connect with a certain target that you've been given. Either way, you've got to be still. Either way, you've got to be patient. Any other way you're going to find it tough. You're going to find it very, very tough. Trust is a big thing too. A lot of people don't trust the information that they're picking up. And why would you? Because sometimes it seems like a load of nonsense. Sometimes we see information in riddles, code, numbers, metaphors. But when you start to, jot the information down or take the information on board, it leads to other bits of information. And quite often when you analyze the metaphorical data, it makes complete and utter sense. And then you start to trust a little bit more. So by diving out into the field and practicing, trusting and then getting confirmation, you build confidence. And as you build confidence, you try more and you go out and you get even better and you try to access more information, maybe in other reality fields. I mean, a really good thing that you can do, and this is a really good practice, right? Very, very simple. Sit there in stillness. Connect to a family member, someone that you know or a friend. Tune into their property in the evening time when you know they're going to be at home. And try and see what they're doing at home. What room are they in? And then give them a call and say, hey, John, were you just in your bathroom going to the toilet? Or were you just at home having a shower? Were you just in the lounge watching TV? Or were you just in the kitchen making some food? And they'll be like, how did you know that? And you can say, well, listen, I'm just practicing my remote viewing. And then you start to build confidence. Or they might say, now, what are you talking about? And then, you've got to do a little bit more work. You could pick a shop in your local town and you can look into the window and have a look what they've got on display. Then drive down there the next day and have a look. I was right or wrong, you know, I'm getting better or I need more work to do. Then the next day you pick a different shop, because the shops don't really change the items and stock in their shop windows that often, but you just pick a different shop. Practice again. There's all sorts of locations that you can pick, okay, and ways of testing, but you've got to be brave enough to at least try and not be afraid of getting it wrong. It doesn't matter. You get it wrong over and over, but eventually you start to get it right. And the more you get it right, the more your confidence builds and the better and better you get. Tapping into the quantum field is a big part of the healing that we do at Star Magic. We train people to be efficient at this, and we do it in the easiest way possible. You know, we run online training programs, we run in-person training programs. If you really want to know how to heal, okay, then you've got to be good at getting information from the field, because one of the main reasons that people experience trauma, injury, illness, disease in this physical reality is because of experiences that their soul has had or is still having in the invisible fields. So past life experiences, future life experiences, traumas that their soul has taken on board, and these traumas are playing programs within the human being's biological computer, their body and brain. We show you how to go into those information streams, change the programming in the back end of someone's biological computer by bringing the past life or future life trauma into healing. And then the physical symptoms, which could be a brain tumor, eyesight, hearing, trigeminal neuralgia, it could be a bad elbow, a bad shoulder, it could be some kind of gastric problem. It doesn't matter. They will clear up, because once the information stream feeding the biological computer, once it's gone, then biological computer, it loses the virus, which is the physical trauma. Well, not the physical trauma, but the physical symptom created off the back of the quantum trauma, which once was a physical experience. But the soul is still experiencing now. This is basic healing. This is basic star magic. Star magic is a healing frequency, and it is so flipping powerful. And we've trained thousands of people in almost 60 countries around the world on pretty much every continent. And we've trained men, women and children, you know, souls from 8 years old up to almost 100 years old. We've trained counselors, doctors, firemen, nurses, stay-at-home mums, accountants, lawyers. We've trained fitness professionals. We've trained people from all walks of life. And you know what? No one has walked out of our training not being able to do it, because we train and teach in the most basic fashion. We make it accessible for everyone. So check out starmagichealing.org, go to our training section, watch the videos, and if you want to join us on an online training, if you want to join us on an in-person training, come and check it out. We've got levels 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we'll train you to be a Jedi, a complete and utter healing Jedi. You will be powerful and be able to help so many people on this planet. And if you really like what we're doing at Star Magic, you can come and work in one of our healing centers. The first one we're building right now in Transylvania and Romania. Maybe you want to be a part of that. We're building another 12 around the world in very specific high frequency grid locations on vortex points. So if this sounds like a bit of you, if you want to know more about remote viewing, healing, tapping the quantum field, becoming a potent healing facilitator, then check out starmagichealing.org and get in touch. We'll be happy to answer any questions you've got, and come and join this mission. Make our mission your mission. And remember, when you go to our website, we've got some of the best ascension tools on planet Earth. You can access them right now for free. Hundreds of guided meditations, light language transmissions, cosmic yoga videos, light codes. We've got nutrition, qigong, breathwork, masterclasses, you name it. Everything is there to help you be an evolved, high frequency, calm, happy, abundant human being. So go and check it out, and I'll see you on the inside, beautiful soul. Go and shine that powerful light of yours. Speak your truth, live your truth, and don't give a flying you know what. Because this planet is supposed to be a fun-filled planet where you can enjoy yourself. So go out and enjoy yourself. Don't take it so seriously. And I'll see you again real soon. One love, one heart, one human family. Mwah. Peace out, beautiful soul.